Hey Dunchbags, what's going on? It's Landon Remixes here, and welcome to my first ever track review. This is going to be of the brand new single from Eden. This one is called Sex. Now I thought it would be fitting to do my very first track review for my favorite artist, and you guys have been requesting that I do track reviews for a long time, especially after I did a 2-track EP by San Holo earlier this year. And I haven't really found any singles that have been particularly fitting, so when Eden finally decided to drop a new single from his upcoming EP, I thought it would be a good time to do this, and I keep forgetting to record this, but I'm finally here and ready to make this review. If you don't know who Eden is already, I don't know where you've been for like the last year, but Eden is an Irish vocalist, mixer, producer. He initially did catch my ear as a vocalist. I originally heard him as a feature on the track Iris by Exit Friendzone, then known as just Friendzone. And then I started getting into him more and more as he started to get involved a little bit more with the Monster Cat community, making songs with Puppet. And after that point, I really started to get into his originals a lot more than his features, especially his Bipolar Paradise EP, which, as you guys know, is the only thing I've ever given a solid 10 in my entire channel's history. After that, he released a couple really successful singles, including the ultra successful XO, which kind of thrusted him into mainstream popularity. And then following a couple singles after that, he decided to switch his name to just Eden from the Eden Project. And after that, he released the EP End Credits, which I was also really into, probably my all-time favorite EP at this point. And since then, Eden has actually been pretty quiet on releases. He released the Michael Jackson cover of Billie Jean. He also kind of quietly released a cover of Outkast's Hey Ya, and those kind of held me over while Eden was on his very first live tour. But other than that, he's been very quiet on solo releases. So when Eden finally announced the I Think You Think Too Much of Me EP, I was really hyped. All jokes aside from the track's name kind of sounding a little bit silly, just being straight up called Sex. This is the first track on the EP that kind of features a real theme where Eden kind of used to go with his music, especially on EPs like Time Changes Everything, where the tracks were literally called Time, Changes, and Everything, as well as the EP I Am Spitfire under the Eden Project, where he had tracks called I Am and Spitfire. In the same way, this upcoming EP is going to have tracks titled Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. Now, Sex is the first of these, and as usual, I'm a bit wary of listening to Eden's new music just because I'm afraid he might not put out something good. From the very first preview, I knew that this was going to be a straight-up pop song from the percussion in the very beginning, and in all honesty, Sex is Eden's poppiest sounding track yet, even if a lot of people thought that End Credits was probably his poppiest work to date. This thing's got everything you could possibly be looking for in a pop track. It's very vocal centered. It's got a rhythm guitar driving through the entire thing. And of course, with me getting into him originally for his electronic music, it's always a little bit hard for me to see him going into more of a pop direction, but I've definitely never discouraged him from going in that direction because I really like the music that he's putting out. Where I'm really liking this song is where it's coming through lyrically. Sex actually feels like a spiritual successor to XO. XO served as a message to a girl where he was basically saying that he didn't love her, and he never has, and he never will. In the same way, Sex kind of starts out in that same direction, where the girl is having issues kind of coping where the relationship is at right now. And then it gets to the point where it starts to sound very much like XO, where Eden even drops the line that says, "I've always been this heartless," followed by a line that literally says, "And we're just having sex, no, I would never call it love." And that's when the entire track kind of starts to shift. After that fateful line, Eden starts to think about love, and then into the chorus, he realizes that he's catching feelings for this person he's tried to play. The track starts to sound a little more upbeat and has a very stark difference from the little bit of a darker sound that the End Credits EP left us off with. I think this is a really cool track because in the past we've seen Eden really in control of his feelings in music, and with this one it kind of turns around and the girl in this case gets the last laugh. Toward the end of the track we get a pretty emotional piano ballad where Eden finally decides that he doesn't know how to forget this girl, which is very much a stark difference from XO, where we saw Eden very easily being able to forget about this girl. From this point, it's very hard for me to predict where Eden is going to go with his full EP, but regardless, I'm very excited to hear it. I think with this EP overall, we're going to see a lot more pop music coming from Eden, and simply put, I think it's going to be a lot different from End Credits, but I think I'm going to like it, and I think you guys are going to like it too. For my track review series, I'm not going to be giving numbers number ratings for tracks, just because I really feel like that defeats the purpose of the track review. I don't think other critics tend to do that either. Hopefully we'll see more of these track reviews in the near future, but for now, I'm going to have the link to the song in the description so you can check it out and stream it if you'd like. Let me know what you think about Sex down below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.